Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. You're watching What You Need. Boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. You as a boxing fan, when you observe this little clip here, what you may have seen is Floyd Mayweather throw 2 hooks on Manny Pacquiao and land them, right? That's what you see. But you see, there's much more going on than that. And just ask yourself this question. How did Floyd Mayweather land 2 hooks on Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao's guard is up right there. And then he lands a hook, and then he lands a second hook. How did he do it? So we're going to uncoil how Floyd Mayweather landed those 2 hooks on Manny Pacquiao. Bear in mind, boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. Let's get into it. So the first thing Floyd Mayweather does is he jabs. The second thing he does is he hooks off the jab, or we call it whips a hook off the jab. He did 2 whipped hooks. Now they get to their destination a lot faster than if you were to try and just full-blown hook. It's almost like a jab, the motion, but then it's whipped around very quickly. What that means is that Manny Pacquiao would have expected a jab to come at him, and he tried to counter over the jab. But instead of a jab coming, it was a hook, but hit him smack on the side of the face. And then he followed up with a second hook that Manny Pacquiao wasn't expecting. A whipped hook travels a lot faster and gets to its destination a lot quicker than a full-blown hook. It's not as powerful, but because it catches its opponent unawares, it actually has more impact than a normal hook. The other subtle thing that you may not have picked up is Floyd Mayweather's feints. I'm going to first describe his hand feints. So here, he feints the jab and then throws the jab. And then he feints as if he's going to jab and really whips a hook off the jab, and then whips a second hook off the jab. That's what's going on with his hands. I'll describe it one more time, in real time. Feint, then a jab. Whipped hook off jab. Whipped hook again. So that's what happened with his hands. I'll say it one more time. Feint, jab. Hook off jab. Whipped hook off jab. Now that's the hand feints. But Floyd Mayweather is complex. He doesn't just do hand feints. He's also doing foot feints. And I will describe his foot feints right now. Feint stepping in, then he steps in. Feint stepping in, then he steps in. Then he steps in again. Feint stepping in, steps in, feints, stepping in, then steps in. Then steps in again. Feint stepping in, then steps in. Feints stepping in, then steps in, then steps in again. It's very, very subtle. Now, even though he feints stepping in, he pivots on his feint while he's doing that. Alright, I'm going to describe it one more time, the footwork. because it's very, very tricky, because he's maintaining range, staying just out of range so that Manny Pacquiao, when he reacts with his hook, which Floyd Mayweather knows he's going to do, he's out of range. So let me say the sequence of events again with his footwork. Feint, stepping in, then steps in. Feint, stepping in, pivots, steps in. Steps in. Timing is another thing. He's timing Manny Pacquiao and his movements. So he sneaks in right here and then lands a second hook when Manny Pacquiao is not really cognizant that he's sneaking in on him. Right here. He sneaks in right there and throws the hook. When you put those two sets of feints together, plus his shoulder feints, so that Manny Pacquiao is anticipating him coming in, Manny Pacquiao tries to counter him, not knowing that Floyd was going to throw a hook instead of a jab, because Manny Pacquiao was anticipating a jab, and he tried to counter over it, and Floyd caught him as he was opening up to throw a hook. Once again, boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. People always say Floyd seems to have an extra sense of what you're about to do. Well, let me tell you his secret. His secret is that he actually prompts you to react to him. See, just like in chess, you set things in motion, Floyd is a couple moves ahead of his opponent every single time. See, he conditioned Manny Pacquiao to try to counter over his jab. And he did it by feinting as if he was going to approach Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao kept on anticipating that he would come in, and he was always a step behind Floyd Mayweather. Not only did he not know that Floyd was going to throw a hook instead of a jab, but he also didn't know that Floyd was going to feint as if he was coming closer, but actually maintain distance so he couldn't counter him. All of those things Floyd conditioned Manny Pacquiao to respond to. He was controlling Manny Pacquiao all the time. And so he could definitely predict his response. And he had something that Manny Pacquiao didn't expect as a response to him. So that's how Floyd Mayweather is able to read your mind. It's because he's actually setting you up, as we say, setting a trap for you, so you would respond a certain way. In which case, he catches you unawares with something else that you didn't expect. You guys have a great one.